Right, plan tonight. So we'll do some close guard, half guard, butterfly guard, all guard. Uh, Working on stuff we're doing recently for passing. We're looking at mostly posture, dealing with inside outside and hand fighting. So just giving you a rough idea of how to play against various people. So to start off with, all I want to do is just like do some very mild sparring from just guard. So if you get a sweep or sub or stand, you reset, swap over, or if you get passed, you swap over. Make sense? So nothing strenuous, just as a warm up, just to get in the right frame of mind. So one person start on their back, one person start upright. Start within a guard if you want. So if you want to start within close guard or half guard or butterfly guard, if you want to start in open guard, be my guest. Just one person on their back. Don't let the other person pass your legs. One person on top. Try and pass, essentially, or submit them if you know what to do. But as soon as something happens, stop, reset. But it's just a warm up, okay? If you're unsure, like work with someone who does know what they're doing. Off you go. Just a warm up. We'll go through loads of details in a minute. Next plan is looking at posture. So the goal of this is trying to stay on top and not get your back bent in any way. So not making sure your head doesn't get, just no bending in your spine. So you want a straight line from your head to your arse. Think about knee alignment and elbow alignment. Naqi's been doing some stuff as well, like kind of universal shit.
Yeah, so what do you, Chris? Take it. So it's all back straight stuff, and it's not complicated the way I see it in my head anyway. Key things you got to do, don't let them, like, if, let's use half guard as an example because we end up here a lot, yeah? What we don't want to do is give them our head for no reason because then it's a fight of trying to pummel, doing all this stuff, and I can't do shit, and he's got the attack, yeah? So anytime, so we'll start on the at the end, anytime your head is caught, you need to back out. Yeah, either back out or start pressuring in so you can bring your head back out. This is key part to this because even if I have my head on his chest here, I can't pressure the same. I can stay here for a bit, but I can't do what I want to do, which is to tire his legs. I want to get his hips doing this, yeah, because that will tire him out over the long period of time. That's why these days I'm not in a rush to pass the guard. I'll pass half, get to like here, and I'll come back just to be here. But if you notice, my back is straight whilst I'm doing all of it. So even if I do this, my back doesn't change. I'm still upright. What I don't do is this, because now I'm stuck. Now he can start attacking me. So what I want you to do is go into half guard, because it's like the best example, I think. And what I want you to do is look at thinking about, especially the top leg. Bottom leg is going to be hard to start pushing him in, especially if they're going to be more active with it. But this top one, whatever you do, whether it's your shoulder, whether it's your chest, I want you to think about just pressuring a little bit whilst keeping your back straight. It doesn't have to be hard, it's just to lean. If I go too hard, I give him things, because now he can start using my momentum to swing me around. If I do it slowly, here, and anytime he does something, I can sit back to my posture. And I'm just cooking slowly, then I'm ready again, boom, and I'm back here. And he has to make the next move now. He has to do something, and I can do the next move. I can sit down, I can pass. And you'll feel your partner just not squirming, but you'll feel them using energy, which they wouldn't usually. Like, if you're playing half guard, you don't see people using that kind of energy. But when I'm here, I'm tightening his muscles out. He's got to move. Back straight in all of it. And see, you can see him straining. And then we can add that up with speed passing in a bit. Cool? So just go with your partner, half guard. Think about just keeping your back straight, elbows to yourself. You don't need to reach. Keep your elbows to yourself and keep that back straight. If you need to put your hand on the floor again, what Chris was talking about with posture, don't do this, because then again, you're opening attacks. Elbow in, yeah? And now, again, back straight. None of this business. If they catch your head, number one priority, you've got to release the head. Cool?
One thing you'll notice as well Naqi's doing is on his toes. Right? So make sure you're not seal feeting at all, because you can't give forward pressure if your feet are like this. So as he's coming forward, you see he's dug into the ground. There, so just make sure your toes are up, and that's going to give you more lean. That gives you shit all.
Yes, and another thing, I'll borrow you again, Chris. So a lot of this, you'll see at highest level, is when they come here and they're doing this. This leg is doing fuck all of them, keeping my weight up, and sometimes it gets really tiring. So you've got to either find a way to direct the pressure in. So it could be here, it could even be this, yeah? But the pressure is coming into his hips, not here where I'm holding my weight up, Because all the pressure there, exactly, and this is where people start getting caught as well. Yeah? I'm holding my own weight up, which is not the goal here. I want to tire him out. Yeah? This is doing fuck all. So even if putting it down will help you, because now I can direct the pressure again. Cool? So none of this business, anywhere, even when you're in turtle, like you see in turtle commonly, where people hold turtle, and they'll do this. That's doing fuck all. Like, I'm just holding my weight up. But if I turn, now I can put more pressure in. Yeah? There's little things like that. So make sure you're turning your knee in and not out. Like that, there's nothing. Cool? There's just a half guard, nice and easy. A minute. Like, it don't have to be timed. But when your partner starts getting tired in the bottom, swap. Yeah? And just move around. Back straight, move to the sides. Cool? Have a go.
Is looking at inside outside. So just adding all these ideas up to actually make a guard passing game. So the benefit is for the person on top. When we talk about inside outside is, and I've taken this a bit further actually recently, sorry. So whoever's in between the other person's legs can do different submissions. So it's kind of critical about knowing this. So if Naqi is in between my legs, it's easier for him to go for leg locks. If I'm in between his legs, it's now easier for me to go for leg locks. So your guard will fall into these two categories depending on where your legs are, who's in the middle. So if Naqi's in the middle, I need to worry about him going for leg locks. If I'm in the middle, he has to worry about me going for leg locks. And vice versa in that whoever's on the outside, whoever's got their legs around the outside, can go for upper body locks. So that's chokes and arm locks, and joint submissions there. So I can go for leg locks on Naqi right now, but he can go for my upper body. Does that make sense? So it's kind of critical to know this because you'll know roughly, instead of being overly like defensive of everything, you only know about half is actually what you need to defend. So right now, it'd be exceptionally difficult for Naqi to go for my legs. Not impossible, but really fucking impractical. But it'd be really easy for him to go for upper body attacks. But he has to also be aware that if he opens up his ankles in any way, I'll leg lock him. So you have to be aware of that stuff. There's always a vulnerability to what you're playing. And so because of that, if I'm moving towards him in any way, knowing what I'm vulnerable against now, upper body attacks, I have to be aware of my neck and my shoulders because those two things are going to lead me to trouble. Same as if he's playing butterfly, I don't really have to worry about him catching triangles on me. But I do have to worry about him hunting my legs. Okay? So I want to make sure that my legs are pinched together. So if I have relaxed legs and he elevates me, my legs are open. And so the reason I've amended this ever so slightly is because like the catalyst moment is if there's whoever's got a foot on their hip. So if my foot ends up on his hip in any way, that's when I'm fucked. So right now, I'm not fucked. I can pinch this together and be fine. Like pinch my knees. If I keep my knees pinched and he elevates me, fuck all happens. But if I open up the back of my knee and he can bring my foot to his hip, there's a problem. Then I'm going to get my legs ripped off. So I don't want him to find the back of my knees. I don't want to let him separate my knees out. So if I'm on top here, I'm keeping my posture still, but I'm keeping my knees pinched and making sure he can't find the back of my knees. So in anything I do, looking at passing, I can't open up here. But if I'm here, don't give a shit. Like, you can't bring my foot around to his hip. But I can. Now he's got a problem. Now I can leg lock him. Does that make sense? So you can use your posture in different ways depending on what you're trying to defend. I don't want you to necessarily, even if you don't really know submissions, I just want to like maybe grab those parts of the body just to like demonstrate they are vulnerable. But I want the person on top to like look at maintaining their posture, but choosing the right posture for the right moment. If you're feeling advanced, half guard is the bitch because it's both at the same time. In that, on the one side, he has an outside leg, so I'm exposed to platters. He can look for kimuras and various other things. But on the other side, he's got an inside leg, which means if he pulls my foot to his hip, he can now start looking for leg locks. So it's the guard that does both, which means it's a bit of a Wild West guard, because at the same time, I can do both. I can catch kimuras on Naqi, but also catch heel hooks on Naqi. So half guard is kind of like you have to really know what the fuck you're doing kind of guard. So all I want to do is just play around the different guards, either inside butterfly, outside, closed guard, or half guard if you're feeling comfortable enough. And get used to be able to move like in the right way, how you want to look at passing, how you want to look at creating space, how you want to look at creating pressure, same what Naqi did just. But at the same time, not exposing yourself in the way that you're most vulnerable. Does that make sense? I mean, your head and shoulders are always vulnerable, but more vulnerable in like closed guard. So how would you move around, put pressure in without exposing those things? Does that make sense? Person on bottom, you're the one giving pressure, giving them good stuff to work with. Person on top, you're just having to maintain your posture. So right now, knowing what I know, I want to make sure that this is tight and this is not near where he's going to attack me. Because if I just had that spragged out, yeah, I'm fucked. Or if I wasn't focusing on this, yeah, I'm fucked. Does that make sense? So I need to make sure this is a better posture. Same as if I'm in here, I can come up and do stuff. Because his ability to sweep me right now, if I've got good posture and everything, and a good base, can you sweep me much? No. Yeah. But also he's exposing his leg. I can start leg locking him. That wouldn't work if I was here. I'm going to end up with my legs broken. Different strokes for different folks. Anything to add?
No. That's good.
So yeah, just try and make sure that you're getting those right ideas in your head. But I just feel that those positions where you'd be exposed and where you'd be absolutely fine and you would survive. Because you don't want to do the wrong shit at the wrong time. Or in the same breath, my goal is to make you fuck up as the person on the bottom. Like if I'm playing butterfly, I want to maybe half sweep you, make you get confused. Oh shit, I'm getting swept. And then I'll leg lock you. Same as if I'm putting loads of pressure on you here and we're really dicking around and I can make you bring that leg forwards, I'm going to start hunting. Make sense? So it's knowing from my perspective as well how I want to hunt and what I need to go for, inside, outside, and breaking their posture and making them do stupid shit. So just get used to that idea of what you're hiding and what you're exposing and where you're vulnerable in each and how you use your posture to like combat issues. Off you go.
Cool. So we're going to look at the hand fight now. I know some of you are trying things, but you don't have to complicate it so much. So about you, Chris. So what you're really looking for, again, I'll use half guard as an example, is as long as you don't overextend yourself, because this is now where he's going to start getting underhooks and start winning the hand fight. As long as I stay here now, hand fight is here. Hand pins in the pocket. This one is really good to pinning, keep people down. Again, you can pressure them. And the key thing to remember for both people, top and bottom, if their guard becomes flat at any point, if their shoulders go flat and their hips go flat, there is no guard anymore. Yeah? So that is kind of where we always want to kind of take him. So if we're here and he's doing a really bad job of not staying on his side, we'll come and sit here, no problem. Because again, look, all my weight is on him now. He has to do something. Yeah? And this is where you can start getting side smashes and all of the stuff from as well. So in terms of the hand fight, again, don't overextend. As long as you're back, if I start curling my back, I'm longer again. Yeah? So long as my back is straight, there's only so far he can pull me. So even let's say he gets an arm drag on this arm. As long as my back is straight, he ain't getting any more further. But if I start doing this, look at the distance he gets on me. Yeah? So whilst you're hand fighting, your back still stays straight, even if you end up in a bad position, if he starts arm dragging you. It's all good. You can get use of the hand, start coming back. If you're in really bad trouble, get onto your legs. Because now, again, I'm stronger on the inside hand fight. Yeah? I want to be on the inside. I don't want to start going on the outside where he'll start getting underhooks. Boom. And now we're in trouble. So again, close guard. Similar thing. If he starts getting an angle on me, I'm in trouble. Cool? So what you don't want to do in general is start fighting and start doing, this is the good stuff that you want to start doing. You don't want to start giving your arms across. That's bad. Yeah? Again, if I'm like this, bad things happen. If I'm like this, even if I'm not using the hip posture at the moment, even if my back is straight, so it starts pulling me, I can somewhat do what I need to do. Cool? Loads of hand pins, 2-on-1s, that'll help you. And then again, don't just wait here. Start building. Start putting in more pressure. Cool? Anything to add?
Yeah. One thing I was talking about with Rob earlier is like 4 distances when it comes to, like, if you imagine it from a standing perspective, is, especially when we've been doing like down blocks, is that when Naqi and I are here, like there's fuck all fight. We're too far away. So that's the kind of distance where I need to be worrying more about my down block. Because if he wants to like shoot on me, it'd be a mad fucking rush kind of shot, like from distance. And if he's just mental and quick, that down block's the first thing he's going to hit, and I'll be able to peel him off. Then the next distance, so distance number 2, is when we're in hand fighting distance, and that's where I control the hands. Like whoever wins that, if he's got no hands here, he can't do shit now. Like I've locked him up. He has to like break that control. Like if he wants to come and like, do any sort of takedown, he's got no fucking hands, right? Then I climb up higher, and that's kind of the distance that we're talking about now. As soon as I hit the elbow, that's when I'm starting to go round or control the center line. And once I beat the elbow, I then get whatever grip I was thinking about. Does that make sense? So it's exactly what Naqi's saying there, is that think about those distances. So even in this distance here, control the hands. Like he's saying, like, you know, put the arm across, and once you've done that, climb, go towards the next distance, and then as soon as you smash that distance, you're now in the last distance, the clinch distance, and now you're making progress. So it's like distance 1, there's no fight, you're too far away. Distance 2, control the hands. Distance 3, pass the elbows, either control the center line or pass them. Distance 4, get your clinch and then finish them. So just think about that progress, the 4 steps, the 4 distances. Does that make sense? So yeah, you're working towards that, but focus on those distances. Which one are you in? Don't just think you're always going to be able to jump through and just get hold of a good clinch grip. You might if they're fucking asleep, but let's hope they're not asleep. Let's work for someone who's got some brain cells. There's no way in God's earth that I'm going to be allowed to sit here and just go back on Naq. Like he's going to, within that distance, he's going to control my hands. He's going to start doing shit. I've got to be able to break this in some way and then find my way to that and then hopefully climb and start breaking this posture. But there's some big fucking ifs there. I'm not going to be able just to go, oh, yeah, no way. that is so ridiculously dumb. So yeah, same job that Naqi was talking about. Just think of those 4 distances where no fight, hand fight, elbow passing, clinch control. Sound good?
Yep.
Off you go.
Cool. So just the last little thing, guys, on the hand fighting again. Don't just think it's forward, forward, forward. Yeah, like you can retreat, and it's good in a way because you're just frustrating the fuck out of them. They might think they got somewhere going, and you just sit back, and it's like shit. They start from square one again, and you can control that as a top guy. So, for example, if I'm fighting here and I feel Chris is like getting underhook on me, there's no point in me now trying to pressure and do this to him. It ain't gonna work. Yeah, I need to retreat and start going for the hips again. Now I can get my underhooks back, or I can put pressure on him, start flattening him again, get my position, and start playing again. So don't just always think it's forward, forward, forward. Yeah. If you're feeling in danger, sit back. There's nothing stopping you sitting back. Yeah. So I saw a couple of you like really going for it, and you're getting swept and you're giving stuff away, leg lock entries and stuff. It's really bad. Like, no, just chill. Do it slow. You're on top. Slow pressure, hand fight, and then pressure. Like slowly grind through. Anytime there's a block, sit back and then rebuild. So I'm on 2 knees. I'll build to 1 knee, 2 legs. Start passing again. Yeah. So in your head, like think of it as stages, like 1, 2, and 3, just like we do guard passing and 2 ankles, 2 knees, and 2 hips. Same thing. Think of it that way. Like if you start getting in danger, sit back down and pressure again and restart the process. Cool.
So the final drill then is kind of important. It was all important. Person on top, I want you to pass and stay upright. Like Naqi just said, don't sacrifice position. Don't get so sucked into the game that you then throw yourself on your back. There's no fucking point. Stay upright, make them earn it. So I want you to try and pass. If you see a submission, just like go for it, but don't lose position. Person on the bottom, sweep, sub, or stand. If something happens, so if the person sweeps you, stands up, or subs you, if you pass, great, just swap over. If you fail, I want you to identify the thing that went wrong. And that's the reason for doing this, is there should be a moment there that you can identify as, like I don't give a shit about going through all the different techniques and how to stop different techniques. It's for any technique to work, there had to be a breakdown in one of the things we've talked about. That's why I've kind of done it all, is that, right, A, how did they beat you on the hand fight? Like, what distance did you fuck up? Because you can't do anything without fucking up that distance and fucking up the hand fight. Next stage, how the fuck did they get past your elbows? Like, what did they use? Did they flank you? Did you cross yourself? What? If they stub you, then what posture were you, after that, did they break your posture? How did they break your posture? What situation was your back in? What situation was your legs in? If they fucked that up, then right, well, what guard were you in, inside or outside based? And what did you leave exposed with your posture? Like, if you get stuck in a guillotine from guard, why was your head down there with bad posture and no hand fighting? Does that make sense? So you should be able to critique and fix all those issues. So as soon as something happens, if you pass, great, swap. If you fail and you get swept or subbed, I want you to stop, have a minute, and have a conversation about why it fucked up. Okay? Like, identify those issues. It wasn't just a case of, oh, you got me, you son of a bitch. Like, no, you fucked up somehow. And so you should be able to look back and actually identify all those issues. So you should be conscious of what went wrong. Finally, if they stand up, then you weren't controlling their legs and hips. Like, if you let them run away and while you're still on your knees, that's also a bit silly. Which we shouldn't have that issue in here anymore, that people are getting up all the time. It's very rare now, much more violent than it used to be. Does that make sense? So I want you to spar it. If you pass, cool, stop it. Don't carry on. If I see someone fucking sparring from side control, I'll curb stomp you. I'll come straight in and fucking start stamping on your head. As soon as you pass, reset, okay? We're not just getting to mount, back control or anything like that. If I see fucking berimbolos happening, that's it. Fucking kneecaps. Hey? They fucking deserve. If I see berimbolos, it deserves it.
Fucking bolos don't work in this place.
No. So yeah, just guard. Just guard. Sweep, sub, stand, or pass. But stop and identify what went wrong if you fail. If they sweep, sub, or stand, stop and identify what part of the process you fucked up on. Okay? But you probably need your partner to help you talk through that. Off you go.